Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to At the Gates. This game is going a whole lot better than the last one was. We're still kind of learning some systems here. It's definitely going to be more important in future games to pay attention to discovery than we did here. This game, I wanted to really focus on trying to get our resource incomes going and then converting those resources up into refined resources that we can actually use to do things. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that, but without knowledge and without fame, we do grow very slowly. So it's good for us to get a grasp of the difference, right? To experience a game where we are not getting those things, have an idea of what the baseline level of advancement is. We will definitely pay more attention to gathering those resources early in the future. For now, like I said last time, I think my focus is on trying to actually found a kingdom. I want to go through that change and experience that before we think about starting another game and having an even better go at the early going here. I'm really enjoying feeling out the systems here. Alright, Emperor Valens has accepted a gift from Drest. Is there a lot of value? I actually didn't think about this. Is there a lot of value in trying to deal with the Eastern Roman Empire? I assume I can't make an alliance with them, right? Maybe I can. Because I guess if you weren't going to conquer them militarily, it seems like it could be valuable to have them be a friend, right? I imagine that making an alliance with the Roman Empire will not unlock any clans for us, though, so it's certainly not the focus of our diplomacy. So this thing with the Picts, I wonder if there is a way that we can undo the damage we did by being nice to someone that he now considers an enemy. And actually, I'm wondering if this, if the enemy modifier here just means another player, or if it's specifically that they don't like each other. Because it was not the case that they didn't like each other when we gave Clovis the gift, right? I think that happened later. Because I believe the two of them were being nice to each other when we first heard about Clovis this game, right before we had met him personally. So it seems like you don't want to, I guess, in the future, we're going to have to be very cautious about who we give gifts to, because anybody could turn on anybody else later, and then our diplomacy suffers for it. Alright, who's doing what? The wood collector cannot forage on this tile. Well, we definitely still need you to collect wood. So come over here and do your thing as efficiently as you can. Fighting next to the mineral spring is fantastic. Let's finish off this archer. And we'll deal with the bandit camp afterward. We didn't really take any damage there at all. Alright, why don't you just chill out for a turn, man? Your supply is critical. I would love it if you didn't die of exposure out here. Alright, so our ranchers need a moment. You just chill for a bit. The other thing I'm thinking about for next game is maybe I'm overvaluing levels of discipline, because people level up very, very slowly. The idea of getting a free upgrade sounds compelling, especially considering that, like, some of the resources that you use for upgrading are non-trivial to acquire. Like, for example, it would be very tough for us to get the upgrades that require horses, despite the fact that, like, horses are not necessarily a thing it's always difficult to get, but because of our specific surroundings, the fact that we don't see any horses, it would be cool to be able to take free upgrades on the upgrades that require horses. But people gain experience so slowly that I wonder if it is the case that you will generally go whole games without anybody hitting level 10 in their discipline. So yeah, it's possible I'm over concerned about this. We've definitely delayed training people because I didn't want to swap their disciplines, but maybe it doesn't matter. So the miner, the weapon maker here, the blacksmith, our weaponsmith rather, needs to stay here. You also need to stay here. We could train people in a discipline, but that would consume parchment, and we're trying to save up parchment so we can attempt to declare a kingdom in that area over there that looks like it might be good for kingdom declaring. I wonder if we should retrain our... I don't want to retrain the rancher. And you actually don't want to be outside of metalworking. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking what we need is a surveyor over here. Just actually figure out what all these deposits are. It feels to me like it's got to be right to settle in this area, though. Look at all the stuff. There's so much stuff. Alright, so I guess we're just producing treasure, then. It's not glamorous. It doesn't feel like I'm getting done things I need to get done, necessarily, but... Nope. They came out of their encampment to attack me. Well, that's a bad idea. Our spearman is tremendously badass. I think I'm going to encamp for a turn, because supply is critical. We'll lose 10% morale, and you know what? That's not that bad. 10% morale and 10% damage, because we're just going to chill out next to the spring. Yeah, go over here and pillage this. Treasure, horses, weapons. Eh, alright. That stuff's, like, good. I'm okay with having that stuff. I'm actually going to encamp you one more turn. Where are we? Are we January? Early January. This winter is brutal. I kind of think maybe he just needs to chill out for a little while. Traveling is so difficult. And you can manage your own encampment. I believe in you. I think you can do that math. Produce treasure one more turn until we have a guy. So, what do we want next? We have lore keepers, so we're now getting more fame. Or at least, sorry, we have the ability to train somebody as a lore keeper to get more fame. Hopefully, our new clan will be reasonable. Or more knowledge. I think we might need bards as well. I don't want to lean into bards, because now we have the clan space. We just need to actually get clans to fill it. And of course, food is going to become more important, but we have advanced methods of getting food, right? We're gonna do okay at that, I think. It's just a matter of climbing out of the very slow growth hole that I have dug for us. Also, the end of this winter is going to be very helpful. A competitive hoarder. So they sometimes get into trouble, but they brought food and treasure with them. I'm a little bit bummed out about this, considering that we probably want them to be in a settled profession here. I maybe should have done these in the other order. Because we need fame more than we need knowledge, right? Well, in 2 turns, we're going to have bards, the bard profession available. I'm wondering if we, in fact, want to train this clan in being a bard. I think we probably do. Hey, guess what? Let's produce treasure. Alright, you... So we don't want to pillage the monastery. So you just want to get over here and chill for a while until you are healed by the mystical powers of the spring. How much longer do I think it's going to be incredibly cold and brutal? I guess we could do a little bit more looking around. Wow, that is a really densely populated area over here. That said, they're all neutrals, not bandits. That's an iron mine. Yeah, we're gonna come over here and settle for sure. The next time the caravan shows up, it will probably be carrying enough parchment for us, right? And Rolf desires something. They've become distracted by the idea of finding a warm place. Who are you? Those guys. I would really love it if you would not... They'll be okay. They'll be okay. They're not going to freak out before the end of the winter, possibly. Alright, man, you just encamp here. Really chill out. Hang out by this mineral spring and just have the time of your life. So we should have a quick look here. Try to figure out... Bards... Crocus. Do we know Crocus? I don't think we do, right? Yeah, I don't know who that is. We have access to bards, and that's a way of getting fame. How much fame exactly? They produce 6 fame per turn with no additional cost. And this is a social profession, which will matter sometimes. But there are other sources of fame. How did those work out? Wood carvers produce 20 fame per turn at the cost of 3 timber. Stone carvers make... Can I get a tooltip, please? 15 fame from 2 stone. We don't have any stone income. How do you get stone? Is stone just mined from the world, or... I would assume it is. Yeah, stone quarries. Okay, so we just haven't found any yet, is all. Are there any other good... There's up here, Masters of Ceremony and Honor Guards both produce fame. 25 fame per turn on the on the Honor Guards. Are they... This is a settled profession. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Beastmasters produce 10 per turn, and they have no cost per turn, right? It's just a training cost. Okay, that's interesting. And you can get that while building out your honor tree going toward having a functional army. If you're animal heavy, that definitely seems like a really good path to growth. Yeah, you guys should probably just hang out until the snow finishes receding, right? We're almost out of the worst of this winter. Well, we can look around up here a little bit. Ordinarily, I'd be nervous about moving towards so many people with spears, but as far as we know, neutrals don't attack, right? Okay, so what do we want to study now? What seems important going forward? We have the ability to make farms. We have the ability to make mines. We have wood income, but we're going to go through our wood pretty quickly here. So maybe the smart thing to do would be to go after one of these professions that increases our wood efficiency. Having a wood bundler around would double the production of our wood collectors. And they only need 10 tools to be trained. We don't have anybody making tools right now, but we'll be able to buy tools from the caravan, right? We have 103 treasure plus quite a few things that we could sell. Does anybody else improve our wood output? Doesn't look like it. What do wood splitters do? Ah, they make boards out of your timber. And boards are used for adding apprentice slots to structures and used to build fancy boats and military units. Okay. Interesting. Catapulters are discovery. That's interesting. Okay, so I guess actually the main function of level is probably more about reducing training time than about getting to that sweet free upgrade. Alright, well... So we have ranchers available. Is there a way to... Animal herds by foraging. Is there a way to make this stuff more sustainably from animals? We can do the wool gathering thing from sheep. Weavers gather wool from sheep in your stockpile, and then you could wool collectors produce wool from sheep in your stockpile, and then you can make that into cloth. Is there a way to sustainably... How do we sustainably get parchment? Because it does seem like a useful thing. Parchment makers produce parchment from animals by constructing a pasture on them. They're much more efficient in doing so than trappers. Okay. That's maybe an interesting way to go. Part of the problem here is that we don't actually know what resources are over in our new area that we're headed to. We could pick up the Feastmaster thing and just really turbocharge our fame, because we know we can buy alcohol from the caravan. Let's go for wood bundlers. We don't have the tools to train a wood bundler now, but we will soon. We're going to be making a lot of purchases at this next caravan. Fortunately, we have a lot of cool stuff we can sell them in addition to our large amount of treasure. I'm confident we can pull this off. Alright, what do I want you to do now? If we just have him sit, he does recover morale, right? Army's morale recovers by 20 each turn. He doesn't actually have to sit, even. So we probably want him to head up in this direction over here and be ready to clear out these neutrals. Not because they pose a threat themselves, but because I want to steal all their things. We got some coastline. I'm not sure exactly how valuable that will be, but there could be fish over there. And I'm going to have people start migrating in that direction. I know I was sending you down here to identify this animal herd, but let's come over this way and identify these animals instead. So, yeah, you can figure out that route. Alright, let's see if the caravan actually has the parchment we need to move on. It totally does. Alright, please purchase 10 parchment. I think we can probably just stop at 10. So what else do we want here? We want tools, we know that. They have 15 tools. Is that way more than we need? We know we're going to need at least 5. The question really is, do we sell some stuff and then buy all 15 of these? We have a bunch of iron, which we could make into tools. So yeah, we're not really pressed for tools. We'll buy the 5 we need right now, and we'll just we'll try to make the rest of the stuff that we need. Cloth is not a thing we are currently producing. It's not a thing we're going to need anytime soon either. It is a thing we have use for, but not soon. Stone blocks are at a good price, I'm assuming, is what this means. Featured item could just mean that this is a rare thing that the Caravan doesn't usually carry, too. There's pigs, there's sheep. We should buy more sheep. No, they're selling sheep at a bad price. But they're buying sheep very efficiently. I don't really know what we want. I guess this'll do. I mean, this is the stuff we need. We bought the stuff we need. So, a kingdom. Okay, not much to it aside from pay the parchment, put the settlement in the right place, and pay the parchment. When we pick up this settlement, is it going to have any effect on anything over here? Will our farm stop working? Because the only reason we were able to build a farm... Oh, that farm's in the watchtowers area. Never mind. Yeah, alright, let's pack it up. We are going to head off and do the thing. Now, wood collection in this area is a little bit weak. But our wood collectors can work at a distance, right? We just have, like, logging camps over here. I guess for right now, just keep working on trees over here. You are headed in this direction. I can come and explore down here. It looks like there's maybe an awful lot of minerals in these hills. People are praising the Emperor. See, we don't have the ability to praise, right? This is not the button I wanted. Our diplomatic options seem to be extremely poor. What about Clovis? With Clovis, we are also just +1 for the same reason. I dared to be nice to someone else. The AI in this game is very, very envious, very jealous. Why would you give them a gift? You should give me all your gifts. Don't you know that guy's a total dick? Clan Adelfried, what are you doing? Whoops, sorry about that. No hard feelings, right? Well, that's annoying. So we do not have the parchment necessary to pardon them of this crime. We're definitely just going to punish them, though. Yeah, I think we have to. I can't believe you would do this. That's how it is, huh? Yeah, that's how it is. So, we don't exactly know where we want to put down. Making a kingdom is going to expand our borders by a bit. We put down right here. We'll grab, when we found the kingdom, we'll grab that deposit and that deposit. Some of this land over here. And then we can use watchtowers to continue spreading out. I think this is the spot right here. That's going to be a couple turns of walking. Man, this area is beautiful. Maybe we found on this lake instead? So there's an awful lot of deposits like really tightly together here. And we still, we don't have any unidentified plants, but we do have some wheat. I hear wheat was important, like in history. Alright, merchants double the production of cloth, alcohol, and oil. That seems useful, although they are very expensive to train. Tinkerers produce a large amount of knowledge from some tools. Traders want to be built where small rivers meet one another or where small rivers meet with a body of water. So we have such a place over here. Probably trader is not going to be super relevant to what we're doing over here. Guides, I'm hoping to move away from foraging and into actually properly building stuff, so let's not worry too much about guides. Loggers make logging camps. This is maybe worthwhile. They have a border range of 2 tiles. They slowly deplete the resources available on the tiles being harvested. They get 1 timber per turn for every tile with timber under and next to this logging camp. What is the base gather rate for wood collectors? Because it's higher than that, right? 2 timber per turn. Okay, so in order for a logging camp to be more valuable than a wood collector, it has to be harvesting from 3 tiles. You have to have 3 wood tiles that you want to harvest from close together. I mean, there's an awful lot of places that are like that. Although, we're going to have a hard time getting getting our border over here in order for us to build buildings in it. Yeah, I'm really not sure what the next best direction to go in is. Dredgers improve production of diggers. I mean, we're going to need armor at some point, right? The good military units require armor. Pretty much everything above what we're doing now requires armor. We'll need tools to train them, and then we'll need a steady supply of iron to make the armor out of. That doesn't seem like a big problem. I think we can manage that. Alright, we still don't actually have the bard. We'll get that settled. And once we resettle and convert our settlement to a kingdom, we're not only going to get a bunch of fame from the bard, but we're also going to get a bunch of extra fame from the kingdom itself. Clan Adelfried has become obsessed with the idea of switching to a profession in... Okay, I don't have time for you right now. Let's get the settlement over to the kingdom place, and then we will talk about your professions. Okay, this guy is a bandit raider, and he has a little frowny face on him. Is he unhappy? Because if he's unhappy, then his combat power suffers, right? That might be real good for us. We should probably run our explorer away from the angry bandits, though. And in fact, we should probably run our spearmen toward the bandit. Yeah, that guy is way lower morale than we are, or way lower combat power than we are. Also, I guess there's a bandit camp I might want to wipe out right here, between all of my units and the places they're going. But I like this thing of picking up your settlement and migrating the whole thing. I think this is a mechanic that 4X games... I don't think I've seen in a lot of 4X games. A lot of 4X games like try to depict nomadic tribes, and they've done so with varying degrees of success. I thought Rise of Nations was pretty good at this. Also, I just think Rise of Nations is real good in general. Yeah, pillage that bandit camp. I'm not afraid of him. My combat power is crazy. I wish we had the ability to praise people. Probably that's like an AI-only thing. But I suppose, you know, it could be the case that you have... finish this dude off. You could construct a diplomatic profession that would allow you to do things like that, right? I don't think we've seen anything like that in the trees, but it's at least a thing that's possible. Alright, this is our settlement. I'm a little torn. Do we maybe want to settle over here instead and expand our territory up here with watchtowers? Because there's a lot of deposits really close together, like here maybe? One of these 2 tiles? Probably this tile, right? Because our borders grow by 2 when we make ourselves a kingdom, which will grab the berry bushes over there. And yeah, I think we're actually headed to here now. God, look at all of these mineral deposits. It's crazy. Never seen anything so beautiful as a huge pile of exploitable resources. And Adelfried has committed another crime. Is there a way, can we, like, disengage them from the settlement, and they're becoming a real problem? I don't know what we're going to do with them. Hold on. You guys can hold on a second. The Roman Emperor would like to tell us that we are strong and wise. Okay, I'm with you on that. I think you're right. I think you're right on with that assessment there, sir. So you guys are becoming a real problem. They are considered unemployed while the settlement is in movement, so that's why they're throwing a fit about not being in a profession inside metalworking, despite the fact that they totally are. Well, I'm going to punish them again, and if they end up leaving, you know, whatever. At this point, I'd be fine with that. I'm not going to kick them out, but if they want to leave, I'm okay with it. So, did we finish pillaging this? I think so. We definitely got treasure out of it. That looks finished. We are not at full health, but we have enough health that we can go over there and evict some of those neutrals. Still the case that I want you to go here. I still don't really understand what causes some units to constantly ask for instruction while others don't. We probably want to actually specifically order this unit to go around the north side of the lake. Because, right, our hunter has been walking this whole time and hasn't needed a bunch of instructions. But our settlement people have stopped and asked for direction twice now. Oh wow, those guys are really dug in. I guess they also have a spearman. But I believe that spearman won't attack us. Ooh, I want to go search the deserted farm, but also I am terrified. Maybe if I go over here, they won't see me? Let's hope. Alright. This particular caravan is selling parchment at a terrible price. I hate that price. We could just pick up more tools. Yeah, sure. I'll buy tools with all of my gold. There's no sense in holding the treasure, right? We may as well convert the treasure into something useful, because it seems like we never directly need treasure. Well, bad news. They did not lose sight of me. The good news is, we actually dealt quite a lot of damage to them. Oh, the other bad news is we can't actually make it to the deserted thing this turn. Well, that's pretty non-ideal. Let's begin to identify this deposit. I'm actually going to have Spearman come back down here. Because this is a proper bandit. We're going to need some cover. The neutrals can hold on to their stuff for a moment longer. And this right here is where we want to unpack, but I'm a little nervous. I can unpack as long as I have any movement left, right? Hold on. Sorry, that's not what I wanted. Okay, yeah, I understand what happens when I unpack, but with at least one movement point remaining. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is move one space closer, so that next turn we can move 4 spaces to here and unpack at the same time. I don't have to keep my clan unit anywhere near the enemies. Alright, which wheat farm is degraded? That one, we should probably just pull the farmer. Come over here and prepare to set up a new farm. I guess we could also just hang out. Like, we're still producing wheat. Maybe it's better to use this thing all the way down to the bottom. Nah, I'm cool with abandoning it. Let's get out of here. We'll pull this guy over here. Alright, so you're done for the turn. You could dig in. I'm assuming that even though I have a little bit more health than this guy does, that he will totally kick my ass due to his much higher combat strength. So these are weaker than our horse guys. They have 7 power. Unfortunately, our poor explorer here has, I think, 2 power. So we could dig in. Since it looks like I don't have the movement necessary to make it over here, we can just dig in and make it really hurt for him to finish us off, or at least make it hurt as much as we can. Because I cannot get away. And who knows, maybe this will be enough to ward him off. Sounds like it was not. Oh, wait, actually, we slayed him. We also died. But I took his horse, both of his horses, and his weapons. Despite being too dead to bring them home, somehow they have gotten home. Alright, so we're going to have 1 point of movement left here, which means we can unpack. Alright, settlement settled. Let us retrain these guys. So every time you move... Alright, get your word box out of here. Every time you move, it untrains everybody. Untrains all the settled people, it looks like. I guess that makes sense. Why don't we make you a miner instead of returning you to your weaponsmithing? Because we have lots of weapons, and we're going to have some deposits over here. Actually, no, we probably need to make him digger, huh? Because we need, cancel. We need identification. Alright, now we'll come over here and deal with these guys. So you just have a long walk ahead of you. The way is mostly clear. I think we did an okay job of that. Oh, I didn't actually press the Make Kingdom button. Hey, hi. What are you doing? Okay. Declare Kingdom. History is defined by those who dared to dream. Actually, history is mostly defined by the people who wrote books later. To accomplish anything meaningful, you must first make it a reality within your own mind. How does one become a king? It begins with that most audacious of thoughts. I should be king, shouldn't I? The early medieval era was a time when many dreams were born, and many dreams died. Mostly the latter. Okay, so now we have a kingdom. It is large and impressive and contains many deposits. Also, lots of angry bandits. So, you win some, you lose some. A new clan has joined, a clan of fecund explorers. Family growth rate increased by half. Okay. So they're just sort of basically good at stuff. They have extra health and extra resource production and extra family growth. And they want to discover. They want to be out here discovering. Well, good news, lads. We have some things for you to discover. But we also have some other problems. So you should be training as a digger. Did you decide that you were not going to do that? We both know you want to be a metalworker. We both know you'll be so much happier in the metalworking profession. Oh, it's probably because I got pillaged, right? They turned off our town temporarily. The Romans have given us 40 treasure. Doesn't look like the Romans have given us 40 treasure. Did my 40 treasure get pillaged? Or maybe that just hasn't updated yet? Suppose either of those things is possible. So you're out of move. You're doing your thing. These guys have 13.3 defense power. But a lot of that is because they're dug in. If they had to move over here to fight us, things would not be so good for them. We do need to actually put together the materials necessary to heal our spearmen. Okay, so they ran out of their thing. I think we should have the advantage now, right? Yes, considerably. You can get back on this tile and resume identification. The spearmen will protect you. And now that there's no longer a horseman in this bandit camp, it should be pretty easy to get rid of once we actually finish off the horseman. Okay. Oh man, all the really good stuff. Steel tools. What are steel tools used for? They're required by many advanced upgrades. Okay, fair enough. Also, probably, there's definitely professions we haven't even looked at yet, and I'm sure the advanced ones require steel tools. Okay, so we're going to need oil pressers to make oil. Is there any other profession that creates oil? Because we need to be able to heal, right? Unfortunately, a part of the reason I'm balking here is that we don't actually have olives or flax so far as we know, and that might just be a we don't know thing. But is there any other way to make oil available to us right now? I do wish that the tooltip for oil had on it all of the ways of making it. It's produced from olives or flax, but by what classes? It's probably just oil pressers, I guess. All right, let's learn about oil pressing, and we will either purchase the necessary things from the caravan or hopefully discover them through identification in the area around us. I definitely feel like at this moment I have a much better understanding of the game than we have at any previous time. I can't... Why would you do this? Isn't this just suicide? Yeah. Crazy. Well, we're going to end up with a ton of horses that we definitely didn't put any effort into getting. Let's go and clear out this bandit camp. And we are certainly pillaging it. Alright, I am sick of bandits. Sorry, you have a problem? Oh, they still want... I thought this desire to be warm might go away when the weather got warmer. Apparently, it is going to be a problem forever. Well, it is reducing their resource production. So I guess we could bring them home? Yeah, alright. It's going to be a long walk. But we will get you indoors. I will take care of some of my people some of the time, I swear. So we are now on 19 fame per turn. We still haven't trained a bard, but we still intend to. I want to get started on these deposits, because there's an awful lot of stuff to identify out here. And then once those animals are identified, we can do some ranching, right? So what do we have from the caravan? We can buy some flax. We can just straight buy oil. Probably we're better off just buying oil right now, honestly. We are going to need to sell some things. Fortunately, we have some things. We could sell off iron at 2 treasure apiece. The weapons we made out of the iron at 4 treasure apiece, which is not actually a good price. Because isn't it 2 iron per weapon? Oh, you know what? It's 2 iron per 2 weapons, actually. So yeah, the refinement that we put into these is increasing the price of the goods, which is what I would expect. Let's sell some of them. That'll be enough for us to buy quite a bit of oil. I don't know how quickly the oil is expended when you use it to heal. And then we also want to buy this cloth. So I'll sell another 10 weapons. We'll buy a bunch of cloth here. Alright. So in a moment here, when we tell our man to go home and heal, after he finishes putting those guys away, we will discover exactly how expensive that process is. We discovered how many horses? A herd of horses. 20 wonderful horses. Sorry, 20 turns of horses. Alright. Let's jump you guys out now that it's safe. The explorer can go and check this out. And the rancher can attempt to construct a pasture. We'll add the horses to our stockpile. And I don't know what we'll do with them then. Actually, I was kind of hoping this was going to be like a food animal. Whatever, we'll train military dudes on horses, right? We'll figure something out. I'm not going to have a lack of uses for horses. We will figure out what to do with them. All right, we've gained some gentle peddlers, so that's even more treasure income, right? Gentle means they like training in civilian professions. Okay, they're just generally good, useful dudes. Also, everything is happening. So a lot of stuff. Yeah, Clan Adelfried is now a digger. Are they? Yeah, okay, they did jump out already. You guys should go over here. And our other wheat farm has degraded, so I guess we will abandon it as well. You know, this wheat farm's actually bringing in quite a bit of food still. I'm going to leave this one active until the other farmer gets in position. Which is going to be, yeah, it's going to be a minute. So it looks like a watchtower down here is going to give us access to an awful lot of extra plants. That's definitely a consideration. You are going to come home and heal. Does the heal tooltip tell us? Okay, you just heal 100% to full at the cost of 5 oil and 5 cloth. So for maximum efficiency, you want your units to fight like all the way down to nearly being dead. That said, we know there's an awful lot of guys over here. It's possible that we'll get to just fight them one at a time without them ever retaliating because they're neutrals and not bandits. It's also looking pretty much the case that all of their stuff is depleted. I might just have him come home and heal. It's a pretty long walk back to the miraculous mineral spring. Yeah, I think we're just going to come home and heal. And Adelfried's mood has improved, but not like a ton, right? They're still pretty... Alright, they're upset. That's not so bad. And it looks like being upset does not affect the rate at which they identify deposits. That is not in that tooltip. Alright, so who are we training in what? You guys could really do just about anything, except we would prefer you not fight. And you also pretty much anything. Well, somebody should be a bard. We also have to figure out the whole wool and sheep and cloth thing. But I suppose that's a little bit more of a distant concern. You know what I need is I need somebody to go out and identify these plants. Actually, no. Cancel. Hold on. You, go out and identify those plants. Because we don't really want that clan in the settlement. We have farmers, and they can build farms on plants, but for some reason, they can't tell one plant from another. If you point them at a plant and say, hey, that's wheat, you know what to do with that, they'll be like, yeah, okay, of course. I'm all over that. But if you don't tell them it's wheat first, they're just hopelessly lost. Alright, we're just going to heal you guys up. Did you finish identifying? No. It's like, could I be doing something else, please? A large stockpile of food. It says a large stockpile of food. That's 5 food. The word large must mean something different where they're from. Okay, this is a neutral farm that we never bothered to clear. Yeah, whatever. You can you can stay there. You are still gathering iron. That's fine. We need a lot of iron. We actually have a ton of iron. But I don't see much point in bringing that guy home until after he finishes clearing that deposit. Do we have another thing we can explore over here? You might want to go with him in case there's trouble. You are... I guess, yeah, the plants down here are the ones we want to identify. We're reasonably sure this area is safe. It is certainly safe-ish. And Hulbert here can become all sorts of things. My inclination is to make him a bard. Although, actually, now that we have more fame coming in from our kingdom, and we're starting to research some more complicated stuff, maybe it would be a good idea for us to go Lorekeeper on him first. We have another clan coming in a second here. Maybe they will want to be a bard. Or maybe they'll be oil pressers, who knows. Boisterous, but lazy. Clan aren't. Also, ow. I don't know what happened to your face, but that looks like it still hurts. So it takes a long time to train them. They're not good at moving around. But they're really good at generating fame. Okay. Aha! You must be the leader of this very great tribe. Tonight we drink in your honor. That was very diplomatic. Well done. Okay, we've identified even more horses. Well, I mean, that's good. We need horses. People need horses. Over here and identify those guys. Okay. Turns out there is nothing else going on over here. It's just an empty building. Alright, so I think you really want to... I was thinking of this as like a kind of get yourself settled, and then once you're in the mid-game, maybe look around for a place to put down your kingdom. But it really seems to me like you want to put down your kingdom as soon as you find a spot where it would be good for you to have a kingdom. You may as well finish moving here. Because there's that, like... If you find a space that looks like this on turn 10... then it really seems like you want to just go hard as soon as you possibly can. Do everything in your power to generate the necessary parchment and get it. What do we got here? We found a group of surveyors. That's actually awesome. That's a really good thing for us to have found at this moment. Alright, I guess we should explore down here with our spearmen. These surveyors can just run around surveying the hell out of everything. Let's start here. Seems like a fine place to do it. Your supplies are critical. Why don't you chill for a turn? And somebody committed a crime. Clan Arndt showed up and immediately committed a crime. Well, stop. Stop doing that. You have been punished. I guess, yeah, we needed to do that because we're going to have another clan in the settlement the whole time, so... Alright, you are just headed... maybe I don't want to do that right now, with it being winter. You know what, it'll be slower, but we still need to know what animals these are. Alright, we've got a little bit more of a grasp of it here. So, my plan was to just try out a bunch of beginnings. So I thought this was going to be another game where we like play 2 episodes and then stop. But you know what, let's commit to really figuring out the mid-game and maybe seeing what the end game looks like in this run-through. So, Clan Hulbert is now a Lorekeeper, which is good. We've identified an iron deposit in the mountains. That's pretty good. Or, sorry, in the forest near the mountains. You, the farmer, you're going to need to come over here and build me a wheat farm. You know how our people love wheat. I've got really strong feelings about wheat. I hope, because it's all we ever eat. And now that we have a surveyor and we've explored uh, all of the stuff around here that was deserted, we probably want to pull these guys back and take them out of the explorer profession, right? It doesn't actually help us a lot for them to be explorers right now. Alright, so you guys aren't... I mean, I want to make you a bard. It's going to take you forever to train now that you're all pissy and also lazy. But it's going to take forever to train in everything. It's not like we could do something else with them that would be easier. Hey, here's the thing I don't know. If we start training them as a bard, and then we stop training them to retrain our explorer, will they keep the progress that they made before we stop them? But this is a good time to figure that out. We have an opportunity here to learn a thing. Also, we are still losing food. I'm really glad we built up the massive food stockpile that we had built up, because we've been losing food for a minute. Alright. So if I choose to train... Okay, the training screen is blacked out. I think I would have to actually cancel this, right? Yeah. Well, what do we want these guys to be? We're only losing 1 turn of trading here. I could have produced 5 treasure in that turn. Oh no. Let's retrain Clan Adelbert, make them something useful, and then we'll get back on working these guys into bards. We don't actually need the oil presser yet. I'm trying to think, what else do we need? We could build another ranch. Just have like a huge number of horses in our supply. We could make you an armor smith. We have the tools for that, and we can start producing armor and then go into some advanced military units. What do we actually need? To win the game, we need fancy armor and fancy weapons, right? It's not the base stuff. Yeah, we need steel armor and steel weapons to do a Roman Legion Magister Militum win. And I assume we need real good weapons and armor in order to win by military victory as well. So that, I suppose, ought to be the direction that we're headed here. And probably... metalworking. Probably we're going to need steel weaponsmiths, just make stuff out of steel. In order to make steel, we need iron and coal. We can make coal out of... Where was the profession we saw that makes coal? Coal makers make coal out of timber. So we kind of need this. We also need stone blocks. We need stone blocks to even train these guys. So if you can't find stone deposits anywhere, good stone for stone making stuff, you have to just buy it from the caravan, I guess. You can't just make stone, right? So it seems like we're bottlenecked a little bit on that. Alright, so there's no point in researching coal makers yet because we don't have a way of making stone blocks. We could buy some stone blocks. I suppose you only need to train 1 coal maker. Alright. Alright, give me coal maker and we'll see about buying some stone blocks. There were some available one time. Let's get as close to where we're going as we can here while we are... Oh, you know what we should make this guy? I got an idea. How about a watchman? We are definitely going to need more watchtowers. Alright, finish identifying that deposit, please. You'll manage your own supplies from here. You need to encamp for a turn. So, we haven't pulled out of this. I suppose we could, if we abandon this farm, there's no more reason for us to have a watchtower or a watchman committed to this watchtower over here. We could abandon it and pull over here because we want to build a watchtower down here to grab all this food. And then there's definitely other watchtower spots that would be valuable, like over here to grab these 5 deposits. That said, the journey is going to be less of a pain if we wait for summer. We're not producing any food from it anyway right now. Maybe this is our moment. Maybe we just go now. What time is it exactly? It's early January. Yeah, let's just make the trip. We don't need zone of control over here anymore. This guy can keep digging without it. I'm starting to grasp the structures, I think. Oh, interesting. Peat. Do we know what peat is used for? Oh, peat deposits give you coal. Okay. That's handy. What do we want to identify next? We could come up here and help with the mountains. We could start identifying stuff outside of our zone of control. Oh man, a watchtower over here is also extremely good. Yeah, I guess let's come and identify some of these plants. Because we know we're going to make this watchtower, right? There's no sense in delaying the identification. You are cool to move for a turn. Is there a way to... No. There's no way to set them to move a long distance but take care of their own supply. I think we're going to have to micromanage them. That's fine. That's fine, we can do that. Because it seems like units that you've issued a long move order to, when they get to supply critical, they just stop and ask you what to do rather than taking care of it themselves the way that foragers do. We've got some meek rivermen. So they cannot be trained in social professions, and they move across rivers easily. That's not really a useful niche, man. Sorry. Ooh, a large field of flax. That sounds useful. We can make a flax farm, right? That's a real thing? Probably a real thing. I guess encamp for a turn. You also need to encamp for a turn. You also need to encamp for a turn. Yeah, the winter is terrible. I hate the winter very much. Please do not just construct a watchtower. We can group those guys up. You should probably make a wheat farm. That actually it didn't sound like it clicked. There we go. So units in most food-making professions cease to make food during the winter, even if they're in a building, but they also don't get all upset if they're in a building and they don't starve to death. What is wrong? What do you guys want? Yes, they want to go inside. We're working on that. I've been trying to get you inside for a really long time. It's just an extremely long walk. Looks like the best thing to do here... We should... Hold on. I should merge these units, so I don't have to be giving that order twice every turn. Alright, who's up next? The spearman is making sure that life is safe out here in the wilderness. I'm going to come down here and identify that. You're going to identify this. She's a gatherer, not a reaper, right? Yeah, okay. So after she's done with this, we can have her just go and grab berries, because I don't think you can... I mean, berry farms are a real thing, but I don't think farmers make berry farms. Let's see here. Farmers. Wheat. Oh, yeah, you can make orchards. Okay. A serious quarrel has broken out between Clan Arndt and Clan Adelbert because of all of the anger. Because they're just bad people. Alright, so each is demanding the other be punished in the settlement. And, hey, stop talking. I wish there was a way to just dismiss this. No, even closing and reopening the clan screen doesn't make that go away. So Clan Arndt and Clan Adelbert. Who is Clan... Oh, Clan Adelbert is the watchman who is on the tile, but not in the settlement. Okay, well, I'll be honest with you. Clan Adelbert is more useful to us. So if we don't do this, they'll both get unhappy, right? Thing is, we're about to pull them apart. Is that going to resolve... Here, let's see if this resolves the feud. We'll get you out of there. We'll see if that calms everybody down. It has not calmed everybody down. Well, I mean, we punish one of them, right? Because right now it's -1 mood to both of them, but it'll only be -1 mood to one of them if we actually punish. And you guys are being a real pain, honestly. Would prefer to stack up all of my points of negative opinion on one clan. Alright, so you found yourself another iron deposit. You're so close, man. You're so close to the city. Just hang on a little bit longer. So we need to train these guys in a profession, right? I don't know what we want to do with Clan Guy Spirit yet. They can't do social professions, so we can't make them a bard or a lore keeper, right? Cannot be trained in social professions. Here, if we come in here through by selecting them, it'll just turn those off. What do we need right now? I mean, we need a lot of farmers. We're making good use of farmers. We might want to make them a wood bundler, actually. Yeah, we need somebody to bundle wood. You can bundle wood while meek. It's not really a talking profession, and we're planning on making these guys not wood collectors anymore when they get over here, right? All right. So what do we need to study? We need to get up to making steel weapons and armor. That's really important. So we're going to need steel makers at some point. We have sources of iron and coal now. But I guess what we really need is... yeah, we're going to need steel. We'll figure it out. So we need miners over here. We need to make mines on our... we need to make a mine on our deposit of peat, at the very least, because we don't have a lot of sources of coal right now, although probably that's also peat, huh? And Adelbert loves that we've punished people on their behalf. It's just their favorite thing. So where exactly do we want to put this? Hold on, actually, let's move you first. Okay. There's nothing else down here. So this watchtower could really just go anywhere in this area. It's gonna cover the whole peninsula no matter where we put it. Maybe it goes right here. It'll grab all of this land too. I don't know if that's necessarily actually valuable. There's nothing over there. I mean, I guess there's trees. We need those trees. Okay, what do you guys have available? There's coal available. We can buy some coal. We buy stone blocks, but they're incredibly expensive. Yeah, I think we can sell a bunch of iron. And actually, they're paying an unusually high price for iron. Let's sell like a bunch of iron. Not all of it, obviously. But we don't need 146. So do I just want to buy all these stone blocks? It seems like they're kind of hard to make. We don't have a lot of stone access right now. And we have way more treasure than we need. Because we could sell a ton more iron. We're still bringing it in at an incredible pace as well. Food is becoming a little bit of a problem. Why don't we sell some more iron and just like buy a big stock of food? You could buy some salt and then get one of those briners. Yeah, that's a little bit of extra research on top of everything else, though. But like, let's do this. So let's sell 90 treasure worth of iron here, and then buy all of this meat. I think I'm not going to bother buying the salt, even though that's a really nice conversion. I don't think that I want to spend the research time. So with that, I think we're good. Maybe I want to buy this cloth. We have sheep in our stockpile. Like, we are part way to actually having cloth production. And I don't want to sell all of our iron. Although even once we're making armor out of it, we're still going to be gaining iron faster than we are currently losing it. Yeah, okay. Let's sell a bunch more iron. And then buy all of this cloth. This cloth is just very useful. Okay. Feeling pretty comfortable about that. So this seems like a one of the things that I find revealed several unidentified deposits. We discovered that this is sheep, a normal-sized herd of sheep. Over here we have grapes. That's it, which is 2. Several is a word that technically can mean 2, I guess, if you really want it to. Right, so I want you to go right here and construct your watchtower. Right, is it better here or there? 2, 3. I guess if we build it here, it grabs this tile. If we build it here, it grabs that tile, is the only difference. Yeah, this is fine. This tile has more trees on it than that tile does. And you just need to run off and get another deposit identified. This guy is great. I very, very much like having a surveyor. You are almost dead. I really let your health get pretty low there. Well, I can't afford to heal you right now. I forgot how damaged he was. Well, I mean, there's other deposits to identify. I guess go and identify that deposit. We'll just have to watch his supply carefully, because he could die very suddenly. Supply exhausted. Encamp here. Just take a moment and really figure things out. River crossings are tough. If the Oregon Trail taught me anything, and it didn't, it's that river crossings are tough. We have another clan showing up next turn. You guys have just got to make it into the settlement. You can do this. Surveyor, I guess we could start identifying these. I think that's probably the play. And you should probably attend him. Like, it's still worth it to knock the neutrals off of that stuff, right? You have deforested that whole tile. Well done, I suppose. I'll say this, that guy knows how to chop down a tree. He has chopped down some number of trees. Really, like a whole civilization's worth of trees, pretty much by himself. This is worrying. Wild and envious, huh? +1 power and extra morale. These guys want to be military. They're going to get into fights if we leave them in the settlement. Also, they're going to get into fights if we leave them in the settlement. Well, we can make them another watchman. Right? Because we kind of want to build a tower out here and out here. Having a third watchman might be totally reasonable. And, like I said, they're going to get into fights if we leave them in the settlement. Do I need to punish you again? Are you committing crimes? Whatever, just... Oh, apparently I can just keep punishing them as much as I want. That doesn't seem useful. Can we just evict them? Like, they hate us. They're never going to do good work. I suppose, actually... 50 parchment clears their name entirely, regardless of how many crimes they have committed. I suppose that would be maybe a good sort of midterm goal for us. Okay, so you have not identified all of the plants, right? There's stuff over here. Yeah, let's go and identify this one before we convert that person probably into a farmer. My guess is that the best thing for us is going to be for them to be a farmer. Also, who would have thought? It takes a long time to migrate an entire civilization of people. Alright, you are going to enter the settlement and become happy. What do we find here? Is this olives? Okay. So we have olives and flax now. Turns out the oil pressers will not go to waste once we can actually train them. Also, before I forget about it, we may as well increase our clan limit. The whole reason we bought all that cloth. Then Rolf has chilled the hell out. Isn't that wonderful? A vast iron deposit. Well, I suppose that's where we'll build the mine, right? Let's have him determine or identify one more deposit before we send him back to become a miner. The surveyor can take care of the two over here. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. And I think that's when we get these guys over here and get them to their new jobs is when we will end the video for now. We have identified... Nope, we have not identified. That is not an identified graphic. For a second, I thought we had identified that they were gray cows. So we've got our clan income up a little bit now. I would still like a little bit more fame. But also, we just have a lot of training to do. We have a lot of backlog from that period where we were being very inefficient that still has not yet been resolved. We have identified a salt deposit. Okay, that sounds extremely useful. We may yet have a briner. The surveyors are faster at identifying deposits than other people are too. Surveyors seem great. Alright, this is probably the part where we part ways. Because I think our watchtower guy wants to go up here. Do we want to take this area first? Because we've already seen the wheat that's over here. But I guess we're close to identifying this thing. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do it over here. So, 3 tiles apart. 1, 2, 3. Like here gets us. That's rough. I think these are a little bit too far apart, aren't they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. These 2 deposits are slightly too far apart to be gotten by the same watchtower. Well, we'll prioritize going up because a watchtower over here gets us that and also other stuff. So, that being the case, we want to put the watchtower like here, I think. Or maybe more like there. That's not bad. Yeah, that's 3 tiles out to this and 3 tiles out to that. It gets us a huge amount of space. Yeah, I think that's the right move. And you, the farmer, can go and farm something. There's 18 turns of berries, 18 turns of wheat. We can farm the flax, right? You make a flax farm? Yes, you can. Okay, I think maybe that's what we'll do. That's a pretty valuable resource. I would like to get that under control. And then here, we have some pigs that are available. That's unusual. We could sell... Nothing that we can sell has a special high price. I might want to acquire more cloth or more parchment. We really just don't have money right now. And I know we're sitting on some big stocks of stuff, but we're also going to start burning through it a little bit more quickly. I think we don't need to buy anything this time. So let's get that watchtower established and that farm established, and then we'll call it for the day. I think we are maybe not in a great position for how far we are in the game, but we're in a much better position than we ever have been, and it's improving rapidly. A herd of aurochs. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to construct a cattle pasture on them probably, and then figure out what we want to do with them later. Or, honestly, like, we do just need to get food coming in, and since I'm having our farmer who's coming over here build on the flax field instead of on a food resource, I wonder if maybe... Maybe we should just hunt these guys? You know what? If we're going to hunt, we should hunt outside of our borders. We should try to build timber structures and eventually stone block structures on the things that are in our borders. I don't know exactly what the long arc of the game is. It's possible that you really don't want to build any timber structures in your kingdom territory. You want to be entirely on stone blocks by then, because we might have to be here for like a really long time. But my suspicion is that the game's not going to be super, super long from here. So the only thing we could actually attack is here. But it looks like we could just take them out. And like I said, I don't think that the other neutrals are going to give us trouble about it. Because I think that's the difference between bandits and neutrals. So we could just take all this timber and treasure, or we could leave this thing up and eventually take it over. There's still some trees around. Nah, I'm just going to pillage it. They've depleted that tile pretty seriously. Alright, so you are going to come up here and somewhere like there-ish. See, this is a little tricky because the salt is so far away from that plant. We probably want to settle the watchtower within 3 tiles of the salt, right? So 1, 2, 3, like here. That'll get us that animal still. Yeah, I think that's probably right. Settlement is idle. You guys should probably become something other than a wood collector. We have plenty of timber coming in. So if we were to retrain you, it would be best for you to stay in the crafting thing. You could become a weaver. We still don't actually have people getting wool, though. You know what, though? We're about to have a flax farm. Yeah. Become a weaver. We'll have a weaver sitting idle for a little bit before the flax farm is up, but they'll get together. They'll work it out. Alright, somewhere over there, diplomacy is happening. I may as well finish this guy off for even more combat XP. These guys might legitimately make it to level 10. And we should definitely, if we're going to hunt these animals, we should do it before those borders expand any further. There's a lot of praising and giving of gifts going on, and we're just very left out. Okay, so you are very angry, and I'm sorry about that. It's going to take them forever to train as anything. I'm just going to produce treasure, because next turn we're going to get a clan that actually wants to be trained in stuff. We should probably just focus on them. Alright, come on. New clan, be good with livestock. I'll tell you what we need is livestock. They are filthy, but a fast learner. Honestly, that doesn't sound terrible, as far as being good with livestock goes. A large coal deposit, very good. Very, very good thing. So, if we keep them in the settlement, they'll get into fights. Maybe we want them to be a rancher? We definitely need more ranching going on. We also, we desperately need wool collection. We have all the parts of that machine except for the part where we get the wool off the sheep. And probably these sheep are very uncomfortable, right? So, what do we want to train you in? You're not particularly proficient at anything. We don't need a coal maker because we found some coal deposits. You know what we need is miners, actually. Yeah, alright. Welcome to the mining profession. You, the surveyor, should probably go and identify the animal up here since we're about to build a watchtower near it. You could run these dudes off. Steal their wheat farm. If I pillage it, I will get food. Yeah. Got our marauding spearman here. The flax plantation requires 20 stone blocks. Does not degrade the resource deposit on its tile. So hold on, give me degrade here. Harvesting a deposit or dense forest depletes and eventually exhausts it, after which it can no longer be harvested. Exact figure determined by the type. Okay, so here's what I'm wondering. Can we build a flax farm on a flax deposit, gather some of the flax, then later, before degrading it, before we run it all the way out, what is it got? It's got 24 turns? Like, in 20 turns, say. Could we destroy our farm, build a plantation, and still have the plantation act at full efficiency eternally, even though we did do some gathering? Or does it have to be all the way full? That's a thing we can test. We can learn. We can find that out. I need stone block production really badly. It's just not easy to find stone, man. Alright, we've identified yet another iron deposit. That's cool. I know I said we were going to make our digger into an iron miner, but actually, I think we pretty badly need to continue identifying deposits. Let's have him run over and grab this one. The surveyor can snag that one after being done with the animals. Oh, that's the wrong guy. You are the watchtower guy. All right, you should be headed over here. Totally had the wrong dude on that tile selected. That's alright. It's only one turn of movement outside of where he was really going. We got this going up. The watchtower's good. I think this'll be a good turn to stop on. I think we can probably just pull this guy back, because he doesn't have any more easy victories. No more fast pillaging for us. It kind of seems like I can't move out of there. It's a little awkward. Okay, well, we have no longer a tiny settlement, but instead a vast kingdom, rich in resources, far from enemies, and very murderous, which to my understanding is how kingdoms have traditionally been. So hey, we're making good progress here. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time for us turning this identification economy into a production economy. And we'll see you then.